It's not even the Super Bowl yet. It's not even the Super Bowl yet. The Eagles have just entered into their offseason, and already I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the offseason. I'm as sick of this offseason already as I was sick of the regular season. Why? Because already we're making all the headlines for all the wrong reasons, and we end up in a head coaching search that we never even friggin' anticipated being in. Yet here we are. And right now, we're one of two teams with head coaching vacancies. Us and the Houston Texans. Oh, goody. Since when has this organization been so devalued and so looked upon as such an undesirable coaching job? Bro, here we are. You freaking believe this? I mean, we all make jokes about the gold standard, right? There was really once upon a time where this organization was a destination place where people went to go start their coaching career or get an internship or start their general managing, start to bud their career, because they knew if they put the Philadelphia Eagles on their resume, they were going places. And now, it's a job where people turn their nose at that. It's kind of heartbreaking if you think about it. Again, I cannot stand this offseason. I'm already over it. But I'm getting a lot of messages, Twitter DMs, Instagram DMs, comments, tweets, just messages all around asking me who I think should be the Eagles head coach. So I'm gonna drop some thoughts on it. Just give you a couple of opinions, but I'm gonna preface all of this by saying that once upon a time, I thought Andy Reid was washed. Once upon a time, I thought Chip Kelly was going to revolutionize the game of football. And once upon a time, I thought that Doug Peterson was the worst head coaching decision the Philadelphia Eagles could have made. Moral of the story, boys and girls, quite often our hot takes on head coach are wrong, aren't they? So I'm gonna give some opinions, but just know this, that my opinions on who should be the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, and quite frankly, everybody else's opinion on who should be the Eagles head coach, chances are, one way or the other, for good or for bad, are gonna be wrong, right? So let's just talk about it, because they've done a lot of interviews. They've interviewed more people than anybody. Josh McDaniels is a name, an interesting name. They interviewed him for 9 hours? That's a long-ass interview. Do not let the length of the interview mislead you into thinking that he has a job, although it is rumored, too, that he's been asked to put together his coaching staff if he were to get the job, which probably would include Jared Mayo, who they already interviewed for the head coaching spot, linebackers coach for the New England Patriots. What are we trying to do? We're trying to be Bill Belichick South here? Okay. I could see that working. And I know what you're thinking. Josh McDaniels, oh my God, that's the guy from Denver. Oh my God, that's the guy that drafted Tim Tebow in the first round. Oh my God, that's the guy that failed his first. Listen, there is something to be said for a head coach getting a second opportunity. I know. I can hear you through the phone. I know, but there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for a head coach who quite possibly got a head coaching job, young, immature, not ready, being able to learn from their mistakes and get a second opportunity. After all, isn't that what happened with one Reed, Andy, Coughlin, Tom, Shanahan, Mike? The list goes on and on. Vermeil, Dick. Isn't that true? I mean, honestly, take a look at the head coaches. Carroll, Pete. Take a look at the head coaches who have won a Super Bowl and see how many times as a coach in their second stint after being a miserable failure in their first stint as head coach. So there's an argument to be made for a guy like Josh McDaniels, who is part of the coaching staff of the most dominant dynasty the NFL has ever seen, in the New England Patriots, whose prolonged success has never been seen by the league before, is going into a second head coaching gig so he can learn from his mistakes. There's something to be said for that. There's also an argument to be made that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick will make him look better than he really is. And that's the counter to it. Like the Josh McDaniels thing, you know, God, I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. Not in love with it. But I don't hate it. I mean, if they did it, I'd sign off on it. But I wouldn't like it. But there's worse coaches they could hire. Adam Gase is still out there. At least it's not Gase. Couldn't be worse than the Detroit Lions hiring Matt Patricia. Don't make him your fucking defensive coordinator. You get where I'm saying with it? Like it's not the worst thing in the world if the Eagles hire Josh McDaniels. Also interviewing Todd Bowles. Don't like that at all. Granted, he's a Temple guy. He's got history with this team. He was on their staff. He was like that one-game defensive coordinator when I... Remember that time that Andy made Juan Castillo the defensive coordinator? He was like, yo, Juan, hey, you, coaching the offensive line. Hey, go coach his defense. Yeah, that worked out. Todd Bowles has already been here. He's respected, but he's kind of mild-mannered. I'll be quite honest with this kind of situation here. Like, to just be that soft-spoken leader, I'm not sure that this city, like, that's good. We'd eat Todd Bowles alive. All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. We'd fucking eat Todd Bowles for dinner. You know, that doesn't mean he's not a good coordinator. That doesn't mean he's not going to be a good head coach somewhere else. It's just, I don't know if that's the best fit as of right now. Let's see, who else we got? They get that offensive coordinator from Brady? Offensive coordinator. What do we got? The Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator? Okay. Assistant head coaches. I'm glad it's not going to be a college guy. I'm on record already saying it. I like EROCK Bieniemy. I like it a lot. Like, look, I know he doesn't exactly interview well, and that's why he hasn't had his opportunity as head coach. But I don't know if you've been watching the Kansas City Chiefs. Amazing. And that's an offense that you need. And not for nothing, as opposed to the Bill Belichick coaching tree, which looks like this, the Andy Reid coaching tree looks a little more like this. So I'm more prone to give EROCK Bieniemy a chance. Do you know what I just kind of think to myself, though? You know, this is kind of a unique situation here, right? It's like Philadelphia is a unique city. Philadelphia isn't for everybody. It takes a lot of getting used to. It takes a lot of kind of learning the ways about this city, just like learning the ways about this organization. And unfortunately, this head coaching gig, I mean, it comes with a lot of baggage. And I'm not talking about the salary cap, because that can change. Listen, salary cap hell is a temporary state. You can dig yourself out of it in a year. If you do the right things, if you just eat what you got to eat right now and stop avoiding it, you can get out of it in like a year. And I know this roster is old and injured and expensive and not very talented, which is a bad quadfecta of things to be. That's a bad superfecta of fucking adjectives that you don't want to be on that list. But you can turn things around. I mean, that's why you're the head coach. Dick Vermeil once almost didn't take the Eagles head coaching job because he went to George Allen and said, you know, it's not a very good job. And George Allen said to Dick Vermeil, if it was a good job, somebody else would already have it. You go there, you make it a good job. So the head coach is going to need some reassurance that for the first 2 years, he's not going to have any. This is Philadelphia. There's a lot of pressure here. I don't care who you are. But listen, in the organization, you're not going to have pressure to win right away. You're going to have pressure to groom this team because, like Jeffrey Lurie said, you're in that transition period. I digress. It's a unique situation. We use some unique baggage, not the salary cap, not the roster, but rather dealing with this quarterback situation because, listen, Carson Wentz, you saw that report come out this week. It doesn't look very good. You got Jalen Hurts. And then you got to fucking deal with Howie. For better or for worse, mostly worse than better. You got to deal with Howie. And Howie, somehow, has fucking outlived, has fucking outlasted, has fucking stuck around like when the bomb finally goes off and they drop the big one, there's going to be cockroaches and Howie Roseman. That's all that's going to be left. You understand that, right? He's outlived Reed. He's outlived Chip. He's outlived Doug. He's still around. Quarterbacks. He's outlived McNabb. He's outlived Vic, Foles. The whole thing. It's been well documented. It's been well noticed, and it's garnished the most of the attention. It's somebody else who's been around just as long, who understands this, who understands this city, who understands this situation, who understands this dynamic better than Howie Roseman. And that's Deuce Staley. And I know what you're thinking. I want a fresh set of eyes. I don't want anything in-house. I want a fresh set of eyes. Listen, this is unique here. This isn't for everybody. And Deuce Staley has been here since 2011. Started as a special teams quality control assistant under Andy Reid and has made it all the way here to assistant head coach, which is just a bullshit title. It's time to give the man who knows this city better than anybody, knows this organization better than anybody, and who has lasted just as long as Howie Roseman and can stand up to him and turn this franchise around. It's Deuce Staley. He deserves this shot. Not only for his longevity, not only because he played here, not only because he understands it, but I've never in my life seen more former teammates vouch for a guy. Former teammates who played here, who know what this is about. I've never seen more former players like Malcolm Jenkins come out and vouch for Deuce Staley. Guys who have played here, who know what this is about. And I've never seen more current players come and vouch for an assistant head coach who play here and know what this is about. Maybe the answer isn't from the outside. Maybe the answer isn't from the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Maybe the answer isn't in college. Maybe the answer isn't assisting on somebody else's sideline. Maybe the answer has been here all along. I'm on the Deuce caboose, baby. I like Eric Bieniemy. Josh McDaniels I can live with. But if it's up to me, whoop, whoop, Deuce caboose, let's fucking go.